And we're live once again on another Tuesday. So today it's the Gigi show. We got Jillian and Gigi. It is so fun. It is so fun. So before we start talking about our topic, so our topic today is video vulnerable to LinkedIn Live. Hopefully I spelled it right. And it's a hot topic. It's a hot topic. But before we start talking, though, I would like you to just quickly introduce yourself, G.
Absolutely. Well, as Jillian used the word Gigi just a minute ago, I am Gehan Hariday-Ardanowski, or G for short, as many of you know me. I've also been known by Gigi over the years. Even in my professional life, after my Gigi years, people have recently even come to me and said that they like calling me Gigi. So please call me, just call me at all. Call me what you will, just call me.
Call me anything. My mother used to say, call me anything, but don't call me late for lunch.
Thank you. I forgot about that phrase, but yes. So,
and I have an affinity for Gigi as well, because it was like one of my favorite movies. You know, thank heavens for little girls, and you know, I just love all that sort of stuff. So tell us what you do. What do you do when you're not on LinkedIn? What's your real job?
You know, I'm still growing up, Jillian. So yeah, after my layoff last year, which is what will prompt some of this discussion today, I actually in recent months have decided to go from an HR professional into more of my own role as an HR consultant. And I recently started an LLC. So I do HR consulting with a company called Golden Synergy Touch. So hence the gold and the gold motif. Yellow gold, going back to branding, folks, yellow gold is my thing. You will always see a little touch of gold, whether it's in my phone case, it's in my wall, like anything that you see yellow gold, that's just who I am. But yes, I am an HR consultant, so I do a little bit of all things HR, but really focused on people and engagement and creating workplace experience. And networking is my other part-time job, if you will, just being on LinkedIn. And very, very blessed for this platform, especially over the past several months. So awesome. Does that pretty much sum it up, or?
That's awesome. That's awesome. And over this past year, you know, sort of like when everybody was like hiding under the sheets because it was the pandemic, it's like, you kind of decided to like step out of your comfort zone and do this thing called video. And we were talking even just before we went live today, just about how it's still scary. It's like, it's so scary. It's like, you're just like, anything can go wrong. And it's like you're battling the tech and will the microphone work? And where's my AirPods? I was looking for my AirPods. They were like stuck in the car. I had to go find them today. So it's like always this challenge with, you know, are you going to say the right thing? Is the tech not going to work? So even now, you know, always turn off your phone on do not disturb. I got a phone call once in the middle of a LinkedIn Live. It's like, there's so many things that can go wrong, but we have to step out of our comfort zone. Now, here's what's really exciting. You just got awarded LinkedIn Live. That actually, you did a post.
And yes.
You were like, yay, jumping up and down. I loved it. And I can't believe how many views you had on that post. It was crazy. Was that one of your most viral posts?
Yes, it was. And just to give people a little bit of context, because I'm sure there are people out there, you know, listening to this and still curious, how did G get LinkedIn Live? Here's the deal. Okay, so if any one of you were to go to my profile right now, you will see I do not have a formal podcast, although I have, since I was received or awarded the LinkedIn Live access, I have received several inquiries about, you know, people wanting to be on my non-existent podcast, which is now what I'm half jokingly referring to it as. I still don't have a platform for it. But the reason why it's this big mystery and why I was so gleeful about it, and the post that Jillian's referring to wasn't created at all that day with the intention for it to go viral. The reason I put out that post, and it is in my featured section, so if any of you were to go visit it's smack dab right in front of you. It's in your face.
The jumping G.
The jumping G, exactly. And the reason I did it that day was because I was shocked. I'd heard stories of how people had repeatedly applied for it, people with podcasts, with all of, thousands and thousands of followers and a whole bit. Well, I decided to get an early start to it, not knowing what I would ultimately do with it. But people kept saying, go into this, go into this. I kept saying, I'm just going to go with whatever, people are saying at this point, because we just never know sometimes with LinkedIn and creator modes out there and mysteries all around.
It's not out there. It feels like it is, but it's not.
But that's just it. And I was so shocked, and I wanted to make people aware in that post of my shock and that I had absolutely no rationale behind it. So it wasn't, yay, look at me. It was more of, look at me, because
yay,
I'll go live and people won't know how or why I'm going live. And I didn't even know. I still don't. So that was the intention behind it. But that post was huge. And I think too, this kind of coincides with what we're talking about today. That post that I did not spend hours working on or writing or anything. I just kind of threw something up there to acknowledge and address the fact that I got this, but I'm still not sure why, but here's what I think happened. That post got more traction than several of my, spending hours on content type posts have ever gotten. So it's a testament to, you really just never know the reach you're going to have, the people who are going to see it. So
You're right. And so I'll just counter that with a couple of things that I've kind of learned along the way with regards to LinkedIn Live. Apparently, LinkedIn wants to encourage everybody, not make LinkedIn Live, only for influencers, and you have to have 70 million followers, and you have to do this and you have to do that. I think the one thing, so it's like, it doesn't matter if you're like, you have a huge company or you're just like a plumber. Like, they just want real people to go live. The whole concept is the one thing you're not supposed to talk about is LinkedIn, which I laughed because I did a whole little video on Lincoln, because like the speech captions always put LinkedIn as Lincoln. So it's like, okay, we can't be talking about that president, it was just sort of silly joke on my part. But I think we're not supposed to be doing like intensive LinkedIn training with LinkedIn, whether people are still doing that or not, I don't know. They probably are. But one of the things is it's supposed to just be this is for everyone. And I like that when things are a level playing field that we can all be a part of. But I believe the one thing that's really important to get access to LinkedIn Live is you have to have already done video. So that's one thing you have to accomplish. So anybody out there, if you want LinkedIn Live, you have to be creating video content to show LinkedIn that you got something to say, and that you're, and it's probably not even that you're like, good looking or this or that or anything else. It's probably more about, can you handle the tech? Because video is tech, right? So I think it's the same sort of thing. So I'm not surprised you got it. We all, I think slowly but surely more people are going to get on, and it's just another one of those features that's slow to move out, but it's coming for everybody.
And I've heard that too. And a couple of people who insisted they had no idea how they got it or why. I mean, maybe they had done a few videos, they got it right away. Other people who've put in upward of 30 applications, who knows? I think the biggest key for me was I didn't really intend to start in video at all. And so whatever videos I did create, and they're in there, some of them are in my featured, some of them aren't, but whatever videos I created, somehow I have to believe that played a part in getting granted, the LinkedIn Live. But it started from nowhere, Jillian, as you know. I mean, I started the whole journey last year only because I had to do a video as part of my job search network. So I'm going to give a quick plug to the Who Ya Know show, #WhoYaKnow. Yeah, no, YA, no. And, Foster Williams, Trevor Houston, Mark Elder, those guys, they have their job network. And one of the things that they encourage job seekers to do at that time, and I believe they're still doing it, is do a video, video for your job search. And they will help you literally step by step by step. So even if you've never done a video in your life, which I hadn't at that point, another one in my featured section, I think it's buried a little bit further down, but My very, very first video is out there. And last year I did it, and it took a lot though to get me to do it, even though my hand was held. So after that, that was when I lost some traction for the next few months. But in that time, I made the decision, okay, I'm going to go ahead and try to do something else to help in the job search. And I was very, grateful that you came along when you did to help with that process. And it's not easy for everybody. But as I've been sharing now for, gosh, I don't know, the past several months, almost a year, it really is important to take a step. And I know people say, and Jillian, please agree or disagree. I think one of the first keys is just to try filming yourself on your phone. Don't even post it. Just play with your phone. Just try it and repeat it. What is it? Wash, rinse, repeat, or lather, rinse, repeat, whatever that expression is. And it's true. And nobody's perfect. Nobody is going to get it right the first time. So that's just my
I always tell people, don't do it on a dare. Like, I know there's a lot of people that are like, sort of like Nike, just do it and post it to LinkedIn and away you go. But it's like, if you're not confident that that was a good video, hey, first of all, you can always hit the delete button. We talk about that all the time, that if you don't like a post, delete it, get it rid of it. But the thing about like getting comfortable with the camera is your first ones, they may not be great and they might not be LinkedIn ready. They might just be okay, but maybe you just want to get a little bit more comfortable. And there's also that video coaching tool that LinkedIn has, and it's for job hunters, but everybody should be using that. And I have a video on that it's built within the jobs feature of LinkedIn. It's a coaching tool. They give you prompts. You can just go on there and begin to just practice, and it just stays within LinkedIn. It's never shown on a news feed, and you can even show it to people and say, hey, what do you think? Was this good? And they're to be like, yeah, that's really good. You can't ever post them. It's private, but a great way to practice.
Absolutely.
That's good. So you did, so let's talk about when you were feeling vulnerable with video. What were sort of the things that were rolling through your head in the beginning? I know the tech was huge, because I remember the first time I talked with you, and kind of captions and square videos and pictures, and how do you, because you basically saw videos that you liked and said, I want to make that. How do I do that? And I remember that was sort of, and I said, okay, we're going to go in baby steps so I don't blow your head off, because there was lots of steps to take. But there was also the getting over your fear, getting over your discomfort, which we all go through. It's not just you. So many of us go through it. So what were the things that were rolling through your head when you were feeling video vulnerable?
I think first and foremost, what will people think? Oh my gosh, I don't look right. I don't sound right. My audio is going to be off. People won't like me. What am I going to talk about? I mean, I could go on and on and on. And, I was sitting here actually this morning just trying to recall if there was anything, like any one particular like catalyst, if you will, that just sort of, flipped the switch for me. And I can't recall offhand if there was a moment that it did, but I just remember after I did my very first video, and I did a video, and I was very, very grateful to have gotten through and pushed through that video. But the rest of the stuff was still in my head, even though I had people complimenting me and, hey, gee, it looks great. Well, what people didn't know was that a lot of that was done for me through our job search network. And again, it was an amazing tool that job seekers could use and present and share. My thing, though, was that the mental block was still there. And so when I decided next after that, okay, what am I going to do with this? So fine, yay, I've been on video. I need to do something else. Because once you do a video, it's like anything on LinkedIn and in life. Once you do it, you need to kind of show up and do it again and again and gain some level of consistency, even though it freaks people out. And I didn't know what to do with it. So here I am, great, I'm on video. And honestly, I have a fabulous looking video. I think now in looking back, I think it looks great for what it was, but I can't take credit for that. What I have learned through my process with you, Gillian, is to your point of what you were saying earlier, the steps to take. And I think sometimes depending on the coaching or where you're getting information from, you're on info overload. And I can easily see where people were getting discouraged. I think through a really big stroke of luck, and dare I say networking, folks, a testament to networking and building upon your network. I mean, if it hadn't been, for John Asperian and Brenda Meller and Jeff Young, and all of these, people who, are just this amazing network of support, I don't really know if I would have connected with you on this level, but it just kind of happened. So I think people need to first and foremost, they'll be open to it, because I can't tell you the number of times I've tried to, again, lend my positive support for people who kept saying, I need to do it. I know I need to do it. I just need to do it. And that's fine. I'm poster child for stalling on that part. And I let it go for a few months, but then eventually I started doing it. Well, some of those, people might still be thinking to themselves, I kind of need to do it. But then again, stop and ask yourselves, okay, why? Is it the pressure? Because if you don't really want to do it, no one is telling you to. It's just a way to expand upon your reach. And what I want people to understand is that there is a boatload of support out there. I mean, even some of the people, and I can't see the comments currently in chat, but I know just based on feedback leading up to this show, there is so much support for not just me, Jillian, but also for your coaching of me, because people believe in this process and getting over that video fear. So
yes, agreed. And thank you for that shout out. And I know the hardest part sometimes is that we want to do like a really fancy thing. And at the beginning, you don't really know how much time it's all going to take. You're like, oh my gosh, it's taken me, like, I remember at the beginning, you were like, it's like 5 days. I'm still working on the same 2-minute video. And it was just like this, I'm never going to get anything done. And I remember we even had to say, you're going to start with this tool because it's the easy peasiest so that you feel comfortable, and then move up to that. And I know that you wanted to like just leap in and special effects. And I said, don't overwhelm yourself. Just do it in those baby steps, because we all kind of do that. And I think knowing what tools and when you can get tools that are at least you can do the captions in it and maybe the editing, like there's so many parts to video. And I think that's what can be overwhelming for people too. But I applaud you wholeheartedly on every video you've ever created, because you bring your whole self to it and always came to me and said, what can I do to make it even better next time? What can I do? And it was just like, they're so good, but okay, how about this? We could add this and we could do, and we just like, you just kind of kept doing it, but I applaud you. And you did captions out of the gate, and that you get the Meryl will love you, because that was the best thing, that you came in saying, I want to do it right. And captions was one of it. So totally applaud you.
Thank you for that. And, just to give some context too, and I'll just bring up the issue that I'm currently facing. Is that okay? Can I talk about what we were discussing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. And so again, love LinkedIn. Thank you, LinkedIn, for granting me the access to live. I'm so blessed for it. But talk about something going wrong. I mean, even in my test run, unfortunately, the one thing that I'm still trying to understand in LinkedIn Live, with the LinkedIn Live piece, if I didn't say that earlier, I'm sorry. LinkedIn Live is what I'm going for, folks. So Thank you for granting me the access to LinkedIn Live, LinkedIn. But the problem or snag I hit over the weekend when I tried it for the first time, it was just a test run, was the captions didn't show up. And my understanding is that the captions are now being built in. And so
automatically.
But I didn't know that as I was testing it in that moment. It wasn't something I was looking for or paying attention to and didn't think about. And after the fact, I went back and I still, 2 days later, everyone, I'm still beating my head against a wall trying to figure out what didn't work, because I know of other people with this, which I use StreamYard. So again, I thought everything was working technically, but even then it wasn't perfection. So that's my messaging, but it's okay. I tried. Okay? That's the point, okay. And that's the one thing I keep telling people, at least if you try and you show up, people will recognize you for it, and they're going to love you even more for doing it, because not everybody can get to that point. And again, it wasn't perfection. I was sitting here, and I know, Jillian, you were probably still asleep, in that early hour on Sunday morning, but I'm struggling and I'm thinking, ooh, this isn't right. And I had a first try in it, and that I had to delete it after 2 minutes because I couldn't figure out the video. So my point is, hashtag fail forward, if it's fair to say that. Hashtag fail forward, folks. And hashtag do it scared. That's a Fanniennigan one. So Fanny, if you're out there, or if anyone tags Fanniennigan, that's a biggie, because a lot of my inspiration last year comes from Fanniennigan and her videos and everything that she shares in her weekly shows. So.
And she's now moved to live, because she was doing lots of videos, but now she's doing a standard weekly live show. And I think you're seeing a lot of video content creators doing that. They start off with video. They might still do video for, a quick talking head piece or a how-to tutorial and that sort of thing. But I think a lot are starting to have a consistent, you think of it as like your own like little video talk show. It's like your own talk show. It's kind of like, I don't know. I always say it's like Marie Forleo, like Marie TV. We can all have, and isn't that awesome that we can all have our own little show? And what I loved about your LinkedIn Live, because now we're making the transition. We went from video vulnerable. You overcame it. You took that journey. You did your first LinkedIn Live this weekend. I think it was very clever. You did it on a Sunday morning when people like me were still sleeping. So a lot of us didn't see it. But on the same token, you had some awesome people helping you in the comments. And we need to go to the comments in a second because we have comments. But you had people that were like giving you feedback. I think Sarah Burgess and Jeff Young and these folks were kind of going, over here and do this.
And I didn't expect anybody. Yes. And that was by design. I chose that time. It was meant to be earlier, 5:30 time frame, Central Time on Sunday morning, knowing that for the most part, the masses wouldn't be
Mother's Day.
Button. It was a test. It was meant to be a test. And even then I still, had people chime in and comments after the fact. And, again, it's a testament to when you put yourselves out there and you have a really strong network of support behind you, you can't go wrong. And this platform is very forgiving. I mean, things that I picked up on, not even just from the live, but even from previous videos. I mean, I cringe at some of the things. And I've shared them with other people, and they're like, gee, I never noticed that. And I'm thinking, and I'm sitting here beating my head against a wall, like, oh my God, I look terrible. Or, oh, I said this, or I did this, or this caption was wrong. And I'm very, very conscientious of the captions, by the way. I try to be, as much so. In fact, I have no idea how the captions are showing up here today, but I'm saying captions.
I'm not looking. I'm not looking.
So, but hashtag captioned. For that reason, I just, again, I'm a firm believer in capturing as many people as possible with our video reach, all inclusive. So that's
absolutely. So let me pop in some questions. Okay, so look who we have. I just love her. Now you're going on her show on Friday. Let's give her a plug. What are you going to be talking about on Friday? You're going to be supercharged.
I just saw Sono's comment going on video is like speaking French online while in France. Sono's wonderful. Thank you, Sono, and everybody else for sounding in right now. Yes, on Friday. So what's interesting is I've been following Sono Bale, and she is phenomenal. She's in Belgium. And she does a weekly Friday. It's Friday morning for me here in Texas. It's 7 a.m., but it's 2 p.m. her time. And she does a weekly job show dedicated to job seekers and giving them support in their search. And amazing guest. Jillian was a guest.
I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah, it's been a few weeks, but Jillian was on there, and I was there in the audience.
It's like 4 o'clock in the morning.
And you showed up. So it was 4 o'clock your time and 2 p.m. her time. Just crazy with the time difference. But again, it's all about showing up for your people. And you did a great job and educated job seekers on the importance of considering video. Don't have to do it, folks, but it's the way to go. Sono is doing a show where I'm actually going to be helping support her as an HR professional and consultant. I'm going to be supporting her on her show and fielding questions by the job seeking masses and just being encouragement again in this process. And so blessed for people like yourself and Sono and so many others and Brenda Meller. I mean, I was just recently on her LinkedIn Live-a-thon for job seekers recently to give support there with a huge, amazing lineup of guests. And
Absolutely. Okay, so we have another familiar face. Hey, 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 it's Sarah Clay.
This makes me so happy. Thank you, Sarah, and everyone for showing up.
Absolutely.
We're so blessed. And I know, Jillian, the masses love you. And it's because of not just the content you've helped me with, but your heart in giving it. And you give so much more to the masses. And I just want to say thank you. I'm sure I'll thank you again, but I just want to say thank you. And that's why I encourage everyone to follow, even if not for business, if not for connecting, if not anything else, follow your content because you are so valuable and we appreciate you so much.
Thanks. And the one thing I have to give a shout out to Sarah. Sarah does excellent videos, and she actually did a challenge once. We were in a Clubhouse session and I said, Sarah, you really should do a video about that. She was talking about a tip, and God love her, she actually just went and put it together, and she talked about how she did. I think it's on her profile still. And she talked about how she tracks her stats for LinkedIn every morning when she's making tea. She showed us how she makes the tea and she tracks her stats. And I just loved it because she was just willing to go for it. And I thought that was awesome. So, okay, let's see who else we have. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Be strong. Everybody follow this guy. You want some positivity. Osama. I was on his show a few weeks ago. Mwah. He's one of the most positive spirits. He is an amazing podcast. Be strong. Follow him. Thank you for.
I'll check that out because
I should mention
I don't know his podcast.
He's hours and hours ahead, and sometimes I'll be online at 5 o'clock at night, 6 o'clock at night, and he'll sound in for some reason, and I'm thinking, don't you sleep? I don't sleep.
None of us do. We gave up sleeping a year ago. None of us do. Okay, so we have another one going on videos like speaking French while in France. You may think you look idiotic, but they'll love the effort. And it's so true. We worry about did we say the wrong thing? And did we do something dumb? No, it just makes you human. So as long as you're giving value, like you said, everybody is so forgiving. Okay. Hey. I love
Hey, Sarah Clay. That is awesome.
Friday is going to be awesome. It is. I would try to get up and watch it, but I don't think I could. I honestly don't think I could do 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the morning again, but I'll be with you in spirit. How about that? We got people saying hi to each other. That's fun. No fear, my dear. Awesome. Oh, Sandy. We had Sandy on the show. Have you met Sandy before?
No, I don't think.
Okay, you guys should connect because she's a problem solver. Sandy solves. She's a problem solver. She's got great stuff. So follow Sandy. She's always got great stuff.
Awesome. Great.
That's good. So tell us, okay, so we have the LinkedIn Live show about nothing. So we talked about this, and that there used to be a Jerry Seinfeld episode, and him and George go to Hollywood to do a show about nothing. And so I was telling G this, and I said, your LinkedIn Live is a show about nothing. It's very Seinfeldish. And she was like, I never heard of that episode. But it's, I think these LinkedIn Lives, they can be whatever you want. Some people just go live in the moment. It's like the other day, I think Liam on Andy Foote and Liam went live on Mother's Day, and they were chatting about Clubhouse and different things. So some people just go live in the moment. Some people have like a regular show. I think it can kind of be anything you want it to be. And once you've got it, I don't think they take it away. So I think you're in good. Oh, we got some more people. Okay. So let's see. These kind of go out of order. So it's kind of strange. Lori. Okay. So Lori, hello ladies. And we have Mary.
Oh my God. This my heart right now. Oh my gosh. When your friends show up especially in moments like this where I'm still getting, acclimated with being on camera with people. It means a lot. Mary and Lori, thank you. Thank you to, and speaking of Seinfeld, Mary did a post the other day and it was about Seinfeld, and it occurred to me, like, wait, I have never watched a single Seinfeld episode. And I think I made the comment at some point somewhere, Elaine dancing, that's how people refer to me. So at one point I may actually have to do a video I'll have to first look up said dance from Elaine, but then I might have to do a video because it sounds like something that would be very me. So.
It's quite hysterical. It's painful. It's painful to watch, to see Elaine Venison dance.
That's crazy.
So any tips going forward? We've basically just said to people, do it at your own pace, do it in baby steps. We know that you're not alone. We're all there. We're all vulnerable in the beginning, and that even when you make that transition to live, you just have to forgive yourself and know you're doing the best that you can. It's like, even before the show started today, I said to G, if my network poops out and goes down, just keep going, just keep talking. And for somebody else, that could have put like the fear of God in them. It's like, what do you mean you disappear and I just keep talking? Like, and I've seen it happen where all of a sudden the host disappears and the other person is like, click. I can't carry this on my own. But on the other hand, I think we recognize this is all part of being a business professional. Stuff is going to happen. You just have to go with the flow. And just know we're all human beings. We're holding hands. We're getting through this together. We support one another. And the important thing is, go and support other people, because if you support other people, they'll support you. It can't just be about you. It can't just be, oh, I'm doing video, but I never comment on other people's videos. It's like, if you don't shine the light on other people, then they're not going to be there for you too. So you kind of have to work at this as a whole community, and we're all helping each other. Nobody's competing. There's enough work to go around for all of us. There's enough love for all of us. So go from that abundance mindset. And I always look at other people's videos and I'm just like, how did that guy do that? That is amazing. Like, I saw one yesterday. I'll send it to you later, but this guy had a video where he had captions appear and he kept picking up the captions and throwing it away, and the captions kept coming back, and it blew my mind. I didn't know how he did it. It was amazing. So it's like, you just go, just when you learn something, somebody else shows you that there's even another thing to step it up, and you're like, oh my gosh. It's cool. Cool.
You know what? And I think the biggest thing too is people need to remember to be open-minded. I mean, I'll be honest with you. There was a point in time when a couple of things happened, and Jillian, you might remember this. I won't get into the specifics right now, but nothing bad. It was really cool stuff, but I had a couple of really spur of the moment, spontaneous opportunities to get online when I did not have makeup on. I was in my Sunday morning robe. I was
lives, when all of a sudden somebody makes you on a live.
Exactly. It's like, gee, we're going to pull you onto camera. And I'm thinking, oh my God. And all I did was look around. I said, give me 2 minutes. And I said, I'll jump on, and literally made sure my
dump the bathrobe.
And I got out of the robe and threw on a sweater over my jammy bottoms, and, no makeup, no anything, but just show up. Hey, how's it going? And, have fun. I think at the end of the day, people make this process, and trust me, I get it. I completely get it. Totally get it. I think people make it more than what it really is. And that's okay, because like I said, I've been there. But if it's not going to be fun for you, and if it's that painful, then don't do it. But think about the value that you can bring to others, in that process. And even just my journey, I know, has really impacted other people just based on their own feedback and comments they've shared privately and publicly. And that means gold to me, no pun intended, but really it means the world. And, that to me, that's my why. If I can inspire people who are feeling that vulnerable to do better, to think better and differently, then I've done my job. So.
Yep. And I would also add in, just recognize that if you have been given an idea to create a video, don't worry about it's going viral, only got 5 views or something like that. Don't worry about the vanity metrics. Instead, just focus that there's probably one person out there that your video is resonating for, and that no video is ever in vain, because somebody needs to hear whatever you're going to say. If you're given that idea, I always feel it's part of the greater good, and you just never know. Even if nobody makes a comment, somebody might have watched it. So if somebody watched that video, it could create value. So don't worry about the metrics.
I've had people come back and tell me that they watched, they were impacted in some way. And I thought, I don't remember seeing anything. And I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. I'm glad you found value. But it was in private chat. And I thought, yep, what you're saying right there, spot on, Jillian. It's very true. And it's that way with content. People are afraid to create content of any kind, not just video. You will make a difference in one person's life. Whether or not they tell you or you ever hear it, just know that it's there. So that's my parting gift for the masses, and your network will love you even more for trying. So
absolutely. Well, this has been fun. And can we get you to come back maybe in a bit after you've kind of like figured out what your show about nothing is about? And then maybe you can kind of come back and we can maybe talk just like LinkedIn Live best practices and what we've learned. And, because it's a learning process for all of us. We're all still kind of finding our way and how to do things and what good, what didn't, and, yada, yada, yada. So anyways, I'm going to bring you back another day and we can chat about that. Okay.
It would be my honor and pleasure. Thank you so much for having me, Jillian. I'm so happy to be with my mentor, the Google Goddess, folks. Follow her. If you're here, follow this woman. I guarantee you, she's a must follow. Just check out her page. So
and you too. And so let's do this for Jeff. Pray for Jeff. Prayers for Jeff.
Oh, what is it? Hashtag bring Jeff back or hashtag
free Jeff Young, who is free. But I just laugh because we just did this like prayers for Jeff when he was like off LinkedIn. So we both love Jeff. So we'll do a namaste and thank you, Jeff. We know he's not here, but he's with us in spirit because he's doing a presentation today, doing all sorts of good in the world. So anyways, thank you everybody for tuning in today, and just really appreciate everybody showing up and giving us your love. And thanks, G, for being here. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.